Good evening and welcome. We're at the Pagel Activity Center on campus at Minnetonka High. I'm John Conley, joined by Bart Archer for today's contest between the visitors wearing yellow with purple trim, the Chaska Hawks, and to my right, wearing white with blue, the Minnetonka Skippers. Hanukkah's in the rear view, Christmas coming up ahead. It's Festivus for the rest of us. Bart Archer, what are your thoughts about today's game? Is number 2 Minnetonka the clear winner, or do we have a Festivus miracle about to brew?
Well, I'm not going to say it's going to be a miracle. I think if Chaska does get out of here with a win, I think they're going to have to earn it. But this is a very good team, a very young team, not a lot of senior experience, but these kids know how to play this game, and they're going to give Minnetonka all they can handle tonight. But Minnetonka's challenge is to just weather the first 5 to 7 minutes. Chaska's going to come with some energy, and Minnetonka, once they settle into their game, I think they're going to be very effective. But I think transition is going to be paramount for both teams in this contest.
You mentioned that it's a couple young teams here. I don't put much stock in the JV result. They just wrapped up. It was Minnetonka 11, Chaska 0. The reason that's not too significant is just how young the Chaska Hawks are. You look at the roster, very few seniors. A lot of the key players are sophomores, and a bit of an oddity, both teams' leading scorer is an 11th grader on defense.
Yeah, but one thing about this Hawks team is they're very well coached by Dave Snuggerud. Obviously, he knows this game inside and out, but he's very good at mentoring. He's not going to put them in a position where they're going to fail. So these kids are ready to play. They've proved it already, and they're getting some offensive production out of these young kids, and I think they're going to mature as this year goes on and get better and better as they go. But this is a good litmus test for them to find out where they are, but Minnetonka, it's also just a good test for them as well in their home rink.
Bart, I think you're right about it being a litmus test. A lot of people didn't see this result coming yesterday. Chock full of 9th and 10th graders. Blake Bears, 6-3 winners over Wayzata in the Plymouth Ice Center. I think it's too easy to dismiss teams as being too young. That was kind of a wake-up call to me. A young team can certainly beat a team that's got more experience.
Absolutely, John. That's why they play the game. Nothing is a given just because you might have the talent on paper, but Minnesota plays, or Wayzata plays a very solid defensive game, so putting up a 6-spotted pick is a pretty good deal. It's got to give Blake Bears some momentum moving forward, but a big win for that program.
Both teams in Section 6. That has applications later in the year. They'll wrap up the starting lineups here in just a moment, and we'll get on to the national anthem. For those at home, Pitlick, Olmscheid, and Lavelle expected to start for Chaska. Koster and Magnuson on defense. Bach in goal. The line chart we were given for Minnetonka: Molnar, Lohheit, Kothi on forward, Doctor and Litke on defense, Charlie Glockner in goal.
Well, we're going to see a couple defensive pairings that are really going to dazzle you tonight, and that's Koster and Magnuson. Both youngsters, but Koster's really one of the cream of the crops in the defenseman. Can really create off the rush. He can set up. He can do a lot of different things that really gives Coach Snuggerud some balance. But then you look at Doctor and Lutke. These are two good quality defenders on the back line. They can move the puck up in a hurry. They can carry the puck with their heads up, and they're very, very active in all 3 zones. So it should be something fun to watch.
We'll pause for the national anthem.
Fuel your passion for the great outdoors at Sportsman's Guide, your hometown outfitter for the best deals on outdoor gear for more than 40 years. From hunting, fishing, hiking, and camping, to firearms, archery, ammo, and more. You'll find it all here for less. Sportsman's Guide, everything to outfit your passion at the Twin Cities' best prices. In South St. Paul and online at sportsmansguide.com.
Minnetonka enters this game with a 7-win, no-loss, and 1-tie record. Had a tie earlier this year on November 25th to Lakeville North. Some of the impressive wins include beating Duluth Marshall and St. Thomas Academy before a trip to Moorhead, where they beat the Spuds 4-1. On the other side, Chaska is 6 wins, 1 loss. Bart, I got to tell you, it's not a good thing when you have to look at the map to figure out who you lost to. 5-2 last weekend, Sartell St. Stephen. They kind of want to get that taste out of their mouth because they're about to hit the gauntlet. Tonight, Minnetonka. Next up, Moorhead, followed by Lakeville North.
Yeah, the Sabres put a 6-2 win at Burnix Arena. Coach Ryan Hacker has to be pretty happy about the way his Sabres are playing. They have some players that can score in the Freemans, the Spaniards, the Sigurdssons. So that Sartell team is not to be really unnoticed. But, yeah, that can kind of put you back into check in a hurry. But they followed it up with 2 solid wins, one against St. Cloud 4-2 and one against East Ridge 8-2. So they got back on the winning track. This is a team that can put the puck in the net. I think what they have to really do is defend tonight. They're going to have to protect the middle of the ice. The neutral zone, they're going to have to muddy it up. Minnetonka is a great transition team, so Chaska is going to have to mind their defensive responsibilities, notably their blue line first and foremost. But this promises to be a good one, John.
Puck is dropped and we're off. Controlled by Minnetonka. D-to-D pass here. It's Lutke coming up near side now. We have Molnar dump in, trying to set up the forecheck, forces Koster along the wall for breakout attempt. Bart, you mentioned we're going to see Koster, one of the top defensemen. That's really a theme of this game. He's already committed to the University of Minnesota, one of 7 Division I commits on these 2 teams. Chock full of talent out there today.
Well, indeed, there's a lot of D1 talent out there, but Koster's just one of those guys where they look to make big plays when they need to make big plays, but he can control the pace of the game, and they're going to look for him to do that tonight.
Tried to hit Pitlick with a home run pass up the middle, but he's bodied off the puck. Tonka breaking out through the neutral zone, gaining the blue line and setting up. Shot from the side there by Molnar, one of the captains, a senior for Minnetonka. They run an all-senior top line, quite the opposite the other way, as it's 3 sophomores up front for the Chaska Hawks. Coming up near side, trying a far pass over to the wall for Pitlick, a little bit too far, goes the length of the ice. We'll have an icing call. Face-off now comes to the right of Bach.
Well, we brought up earlier about how young this Chaska Hawks team is, and Minnetonka does have some experience, but they also have some size as well and can play a physical game without altering their game plan. So if they can put the body on this Chaska team, they can slow them down and really inflict their will.
Played out to Hyam on the point. They work it down behind the end line. In pursuit, Bobby Brink. Bobby Brink, one of the Division I commits. He's targeted to go to Denver. Big save there. Juicy rebound is out to the high slot. Nobody there to quite get a stick on it. Hyam now plays it down along the wall. Bounces out to the point. Grabbed here by Hicks. Breakout opportunity. Thomas takes it to the neutral zone, gains the red, dumps it in. Chaska goes off for most of a line change, but in pursuit, that's Fletcher. Tipped in the direction of the goal. Cuss, unable to maintain possession for very long. Coming out the far side now, it's a Minnetonka breakout, streaking through the neutral zone. Play behind the end wall, wrapped along the boards. Fletcher's going to get there first, unable to play it. Out to the neutral, played by Will Kroll. Kroll's pass connects to Brink. Brink circles, surveys the situation, gains the red line, gets the blue line, chips it in on goal, and he goes off for a line change. The rest of Minnetonka out there to set up the forecheck. Back into his own end. Little pressure here on Mitch McGannon. 2 passes and they're out to the blue line, gaining the neutral zone. Ryan Elder gets the puck down to the goal. We get a stoppage of play. Face-off comes to box left.
Well, we talked about Bobby Brink a little bit early, just a sophomore, but he a very offensively minded player on this team, but he minds his defensive responsibilities. We did a game previously this year, and I gave the player of the game to Luke Lohheit, but I look back at the game, and boy, did Brink turn in an outstanding performance. He's just one of the driving forces on the Skipper squad.
Olmscheid, Pitlick, and DeVell out there again. They managed to draw a penalty here. Looks like an early slashing call gives them the power play. Just 2 minutes and 51 seconds have elapsed. This is just what the doctor orders. If you're wondering what would you be asking for a start to the game for the Hawks with this young team, How about a power play 3 minutes in, Bart?
Yeah, that doesn't hurt, but it's going to be Ryan Elder, the senior forward, going to go for a slash, but that Chaska power play going to get a chance. 27.3, so very impressive. 90.3 penalty kill for Minnetonka, so 2 formidable special teams going head-to-head, but what a great opportunity to possess the puck, put some pressure on Glockner in goal.
Interesting in that they line up with 3 defensemen. Koster steps up front. Magnuson and Barrett are on the blue line. Pitlick fights a battle along the wall, eventually wrestled free on defense from Grant Doctor, taken to the blue line but not out. Setting up to the point, looks like Pitlick blew a tire over on the near side. Back to the point, this is Magnuson. Magnuson working a little 2-man game along the wall with Barrett. Now they come near side over to Pitlick. An active stick forces the turnover from Molnar. They chip it down all the way length of the ice.
Yeah, Minnetonka is going to challenge you on the penalty kill. They really took away the angles for Pitlick, really forced that play.
Pitlick streaks into the attacking end, trying to get something going, but everywhere he's hounded by 1 or 2 of the skippers. Koster fakes behind the goal, takes it behind the end line circles. Overlap pass to Magnuson. Magnuson back to Koster. Koster on the point. Drops it in near side. Back to Koster. Now he works Magnuson along the far point. Pitlick, Koster, Magnuson. Finally, they work in the direction of the goal, but an active stick there tips it away. Nice defensive play by Mitch McGannon. No shots to goal yet, Bart. Just 35 seconds remaining in this man advantage.
No, not a lot of room to move. Everything's on the periphery right now. They haven't been able to punch it in.
Pitlick finally gets a shot on goal. Easy save there. Face-off now comes to Charlie Glockner's left. Just 29 seconds remaining in this man advantage.
Well, patience on their possession as far as Chaska working, taking what Minnetonka's giving him, but it was Pitlick that walked out from the corner, got to inside the dot and put a pretty good shot on Glockner, but Glockner looked big, made that save look easy.
Lavelle steps into the face-off circle for the Hawks. They've got a fresh 5 out there, choosing to turn over all the personnel. That clear should just about do it. 20 seconds left in this man advantage. Skippers forcing the Hawks back into their own end, working it up into the neutral zone, but the puck is tipped away. Shorthanded opportunity disappears as the pass to Brink doesn't connect. 5 seconds remaining in this man advantage. Just momentarily here, Skippers will be back full strength. Lavelle gains the red line, gains the blue line, pulls inside, shot just over the corner. Breaking out to neutral, it's Kothi. Kothi, wide angle shot. Doesn't quite get on goal, and chance to set up the Minnetonka forecheck in the attacking end. D to D, this is near side over to Jack Bayless. Bayless was covering for a defenseman, eventually tries to drop in. Grant Doctor forced back in behind his goal, working with Luke Lohheit on the breakout. Lohheit leaves it for Lutke. This pass does not connect, and little turnover there, almost able to spring McDonald on a breakaway.
Well, very good angles by the Chaska team attacking the Minnetonka defenders. They're forcing them into coverage, and Minnetonka, an errant pass led to a pretty decent opportunity, but they opted to just dump it in.
Minnetonka gains the zone. The shot goes just a little bit high from Doctor over the right point, kept in there by Joel Molnar momentarily, but not for long. Out to neutral. Forcing Kroll now to regroup. They'll try it one more time. Kothi dumps it in. He goes off for a line change. Should be an easy breakout opportunity for the Hawks. Koster on a little bit of a guitar solo, ends up getting enough for him to get the pass over to McDonald.
That was a nice escape.
Elusive. It's a nice part about having high-skilled defense, Bart, but one of the things you've certainly seen a lot in high school hockey, sometimes that leads to the rare turnover at inopportune times and creates some odd man rushes the other direction.
Indeed it does. Sometimes having an abundance of talents can get in your way if you can't pull off a play. It makes a situation a little concerning. Not often, but it does happen.
Entering the zone is Ryan Elder, unable to get a shot on goal. It's cleared the length of the ice, but it's on net, so no icing call. Back behind his own goal now is captain Andrew Hicks. Hicks breaks up the middle. Nice pass there. He looked off to the wing, but chose Mitch McGannon as his option. McGannon enters the zone 3-on-2, trying to get it to goal, looking for a tip or a rebound there from his line mates Andis and Elder. Out to neutral zone. Hicks gets another opportunity. This time he skates it up, gains the red line, gains the blue line. It's turned over right onto the stick of number 34, Teddy Lagerbach. Coming the other direction, trying to work a 1-on-2. Benz eventually skates into the Skippers. They turn the puck over. It's dumped the length of the ice. They're able to complete the line change. Lagerbach throwing the body around. He hits Barnett hard. Thomas in neutral zone. He's knocked off the puck. Turned over right to Bobby Brink. Brink back to Doctor. Doctor's pass right on the tape to Lagerbach. He enters the zone, cuts to his forehand shot, looking for the lower corner. Nice save by Bach.
Yeah, indeed it was. It was a difficult save, but Lagerbach's a player that you want to keep an eye on. He's number 34 in the white. He's got some good skills. 7 goals on the year, so no stranger to taking some shots when he sees them.
You mentioned Minnetonka going with an all-senior top line. Out with Lagerbach is Brink, another sophomore, and Bayless, so that's a little bit younger line, and then Ondas, McGannon, and Elder are 3 seniors. So I want everyone to tune in and keep watching at least through the end of the first and second period. First period break, Bart Archer with his airing of the grievances. Bart will be sharing what he thinks can be improved. A couple too many out there.
Yeah, get a comfortable chair.
We'll hear from Bart what he'd like to see. Just, if you were king, what could be improved about hockey in Minnesota, high school hockey scene. And then at the end of the second period, I'm going to put Bart on the spot and ask him some questions. He's worked a lot of games this year for the Edina Hornets. They're number 1 in the state, Minnetonka number 2. Those 2 teams will meet in the first round of the Schwann Cup on the 26th, and then twice in league play after the new year. So we'll be comparing and contrasting, getting Bart's thoughts on Minnetonka versus Edina, which is next up for the Skippers. Working over to his forehand, chipping in there. Molnar got it on net, looking for the rebound, but Fox D able to clear that aside after Benz makes the save. Koster enters the zone 2-on-2, cuts to his forehand, but he's ridden off the play there very nicely by Lutke. Now it's Pitlick. Pass to a retreating Koster, connected momentarily, but it's turned over right in the direction of Lohide. He throws it out, safely clearing the zone. Pitlick dumps it in, but right in the direction of Andrew Hicks. Minnetonka just missing on that rink-wide pass, a little bit too far for Ryan Elder. Is that in the net?
Boy, I hope not. I think that came off the stick of a Chaska Hawk trying to clear it, an errant pass, but I think you're going to see Lutke and Doctor, the defenders for this Skipper team, on the ice when you see the Kosters, the Lavals, the Pitlicks, and the Olmscheids. Again, on the matchup advantage to Sean Goldsworthy getting the last change. I think he's going to line match. You want to get skill against skill, and that will prove interesting as this game unfolds.
Barrett in his own end, trying to find a path out of the zone. Chips it up near side, but McDonough is covered.
I really like the patience, John, of this Hawks team. They don't get too excited when they get the puck. They're using patience. They're allowed to kind of survey the situation, get good vision on the ice, and make the appropriate play. So far, they don't look rattled at all, and they've defended quite well against Minnetonka. 7 shots on the scoreboard for Minnetonka, but nothing has really been in too terribly tight, but only 2 on Chaska. So they're looking to change that trend. Minnetonka's owned the pace recently.
Forced back into his own end is Hicks. They'll whistle it down for icing. Face-off comes to the goaltender's right. Minnetonka opts for the line change.
Well, it's always important to get fresh legs out there, get everybody involved, and both squads look like they're rolling over their lines pretty well, but there's been a really torrid pace to this game, but not a lot of flow, a lot of congestion in that neutral zone, but that's what happens when 2 good teams butt heads.
Faceoff winds up getting to Bayless, who looks down low for Brink. That doesn't quite connect, and no scoring chance generated. This is a breakout opportunity. Chaska chooses just to dump it off the glass. Benz comes in wide side, glove save. Faceoff now coming to the right of goaltender Charlie Glockner.
Yeah, Benz took that one off the wall, streaked up the left side. Good job by the Minnetonka defense to force him to a shallow angle, but he still got a good shot off. Went low glove side, about 1.5 feet off the ice. Those are challenging shots to save, but Glockner saved that face-off to his right. 6:54 left in this first period. Been a good one so far.
Chaska wins the draw and works the puck over to Koster. He's looking for a tip down low, but it just goes over the stick of Pitlick, who is tied up in front nicely by Doctor and Lipke. Breakout opportunity and a nice pass from Bayless. Hits a streaking Doctor. Doctor joins the rush. but skates ahead offside.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a challenge at that blue line. Really kind of made him look up and kind of lost control of that puck, receded the puck into the zone. So obviously face off outside the zone. But I like what Chaska does, the way they go after her. They get the puck behind the Minnetonka defense, and just the way that they attack it. They don't send just one person in. The second person reads the play, but they really are contesting Minnetonka out of the zone. So not an easy exit for Minnetonka, and that could bode well for the Hawks down the way.
Lohheit, Molnar, and Kothi out for the Skippers. I want you to watch the guy with the puck, Bart. It's been said he skates like a couch.
What does that mean?
Entering the zone is Lutke. Lutke keeps it on his stick, trying to get over to his forehand. Doesn't quite get the shot off. It's cleared out by the Hawks, but it's on goal, which negates any icing call. This is Lutke to Doctor, ending up gaining the zone momentarily before it's chipped out. This chip's been a little bit back and forth like Ganip Ganop. Now it's Kothi coming in right-hand side. Wicked wrister, big save, juicy rebound out high. Just sent wide by Joel Molnar. Couple good chances there, getting the puck toward the net.
Well, indeed, and the Minnetonka putting good pressure on. It was a nice save by Bach on that one. His job is to save the first one, but Chaska did a nice job of clearing what could have been, as you said, a juicy rebound.
Oh, nice pass there by Kothi. And works it through Lohheit to Molnar, just a little bit behind, goes off Molnar's skate the length of the ice. There's a 140-foot pass that's tipped down by Fletcher, allows the Hawks to complete a line change and try to set up their forecheck. Minnetonka easily brings it out, entering the zone now. 2-on-1 shot just wide by David Andes. Big rebound there, back of the net. Mitch McGannon on a rebound from David Andes. Tonka leads 1-0.
Yeah, and for McGannon, that's going to be his second goal of the season, but what a great opportunity it was for him. Minnetonka kind of flooded the zone a little, but it was McGannon that saw that puck, grabbed the opportunity, and you can see it on replay right there. Just beat the goaltender clean, give Minnetonka a 1-0 lead, just 5:01 left in this first period. But I like the body language of Chaska. They're right back to the dot, looking to roll up their sleeves and get to work, so nice response. But Chaska's got to get back to work and answer. Doesn't mean they have to score. They just got to get some positives and start taking some of that momentum. Oh, here we go. Oh, my word. Pitlick in tight. Big save by Glockner. That's a nice answer right there. Unassisted, 5:01.
Entering the zone a little bit too far. Nice pass there from Elder.
11:59 mark.
On that goal, it was a great play by David Andes. He doesn't buy shorts, he just cuts off his blue jeans.
Oh, wow. But I really like the response from the Hawks after that. It was indeed Pitlick who intercepted a pass down below the dot and went in all alone on Glockner. Glockner took away the high percentage shots by going down on his knees. He's a goaltender that can actually stand up and make a save, and for a big guy, he's got pretty good lateral movement. He made that save, a big save for Minnetonka to maintain their energy.
Nice face-off play there. Winds up, Bayless's shot deflected, winds up on the stick of Lagerbach, just over the crossbar, over the glass into the netting, and we'll get another face-off. As you look at Chaska's depth, the statistic, Koster's leading scorer mainly through a bunch of assists. He's got 4 goals. Pitlick 6, Olmsted 4, Laval 4. They don't have a lot of scoring past those first 4 players. A couple players, I think, together add up to about 15 goals through their 7 games. So you mentioned the bounce back. It's almost like a pro golfer coming back from a bogey with a birdie. They almost tied it up just seconds after that goal. You kind of wonder, how often can they generate these scoring chances? The next goal is a big one. I don't know that they'll want to climb out of a large hole today.
No, but Minnetonka got obviously a little energy after that goal. Oh, wow.
Beautiful play there. It's a shot off the post by Bayless. Lagerbach down to Brink. Passed it immediately to Bayless, and it hit the post. Keeps us at 1-0, but I think you're seeing Minnetonka able to get pressure across multiple lines, generating some offense for them.
Yeah, I think the depth is starting to show in the experience a little. But Minnetonka, they got the energy after that goal, but then what Chaska did was they tempered it a little bit. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to be another stick penalty to Chaska Hawks. Really not what the doctor ordered on that one. But what they did is they tempered Minnetonka's energy, but Minnetonka's pretty good at generating their own. They came down, Kerem going off the post. That could have been a 2-goal advantage, but now it's a 1-goal advantage with Tonka back on the power play.
Slashing on Laval is the call. This gives Minnetonka an opportunity to set up their power play. They lead 1-0, have really generated a good amount of pressure. The shot count so far is 11-4, and we're into the final part of the first period. Just 3 minutes, 24 seconds to go. So, good opportunity for Minnetonka to pull away. On the other side, a penalty kill here, Bart, could really give the Hawks a little bit of momentum going into the locker room at the end of one.
Absolutely, and really the Skippers are going to have to pay particular attention on defense. 7 shorties by this Hawks squad, so they're capable of scoring. But if you can kill off a penalty, you lift up your bench a little bit, and that could be some residual value moving into not only the close of the first, but beginning of the second. But Minnetonka's got a great opportunity right now.
Face-off won by Psycho Lohite. Minnetonka able to set something up. This is Lohite looking down low. Gets in the direction of Molnar. Working Gretzky's office. Molnar comes out far side. We're working back to the point now. It's gone 360 around the circle. It's back to Lohite. We're going to do it again. This is Molnar. And a nice pass right out front on the doorstep. That's Kothi. Real good chance there. Good possession and generating a lot of zone time here. They got the puck to net once, but unfortunately for the Skippers, Koster gets a stick on it, throws it the length of the ice. They've killed 45 seconds of this minor penalty and got a fresh 4 out there for the kill.
Yeah, he got a good chop on that one to separate the puck, send it down the ice, but nice job of keeping everything in the periphery. They'll give them the periphery all day, but it's Minnetonka's challenge to get between the dots.
Minnetonka gains the zone, trying to set something up, and they work it over near side to Doctor. Doctor surveys the situation, looks off the pass, tries to shoot up into the high corner.
That was a good
big save there by Bach. Back to Doctor on the point. This time he's going to walk the blue line and go over to Lutke. A little give and go along the wall. Lutke working a 2-man game. Oh, and that hits the post. Beautiful shot there from Lohite. We almost saw the goalie shuffle there.
That'd be fun to watch. Tried to go high cheese short side, just missed.
Doctor and Lutke working their 2-man game. Unfortunately for them, Bayless gets his stick in the way and turns the puck over. That should just about do it. We're down to the final 20 seconds of the man advantage.
One more rush.
One more rush from Minnetonka. They're going to bring it up near side. Pass there from Bayless, hits a skate, pushes the puck back into their own end. Doctor up to Lutke. Lutke trying to work this one into the slot to Lagerbach. Hawks are now full strength, trying to get back into the zone. Doctor didn't see him. He's able to get an active stick in there and poke the puck away.
Got to communicate with your teammates, let them know what's up.
Lagerbach tries to get it to Brink for a shot, but that one is deflected up and over the glass. We'll get a whistle with 1 minute, 11 seconds left. Minnetonka leading 1-0 over Chaska, first period action.
Boy, that was a big windup. I think he tried to set that to Grays Bay. But up and out of play, faceoff's going to be in the zone, but nice busy stick. Anytime you can get a stick on the puck, you want to ramp it up and out of play. It's just responsible defense. So far, the Hawks have kind of weathered this storm. 14 shots against, but they've done a pretty good job with the challenges that have been put in front of them.
Brings us to the final minute of the first period. Minnetonka still in the Chaska zone, trying to add to that 1-0 margin. Pass doesn't quite connect, and it's an opportunity for Bronson to work a breakout. They're going to take it up far side. Goes through the skates of Laval out to the neutral zone where it's dumped back in by Minnetonka. Another opportunity for Chaska to try to find a way out of their zone. Turnover to Lagerbach. Far side Laval finally just chips it out to the neutral zone. McDonald's the one that gets there first, but it pops off of his stick like a Mexican jumping bean. We're down to just 25 seconds remaining in the period. Minnetonka trying to keep the puck in, but Laval fights a battle and manages to take it out to the neutral zone. Leaves it for McDonald, who dumps it in. This is Doctor behind his net, setting up one final rush. Now we're down to 12 seconds remaining in the period. Turned over to the Hawks, trying to get a shot off the forehand for Benz, but as he runs into one of the Skippers, and that should do it for the period. 1-0 end of first period. It was a goal from Mitch McGannon. I think they read it off unassisted, but Andis is the one that took the shot that left the rebound. 12, possibly from 27. So Bart, it's Festivus.
for the rest of us.
You've been around high school hockey 30 years at least as a commentator.
You're being kind, John. More than that.
So if you were king for one day, airing of the grievances, what are some things that you think could improve high school hockey in the state of Minnesota?
Well, I think bigger, more clarified numbers on the jerseys with names on the back, selfishly from a broadcaster's perspective. But I think that there's a couple things that I've kind of kicked around with some people in casual conversation. One is extend the periods from 17 minutes to 20 minutes, and there's been debate to and fro, but I think it would add a little bit extra time to develop. You can develop your lower lines a little bit, but I think the big scuttlebutt or point of interest is just whether you can ice or not on the penalty kill, and that's been tried down in the lower leagues and with some success. But there might be a modification where if you are allowed to ice the puck, keep the player in for the full 2 minutes, no matter how many goals are scored. But if you are not able to ice the puck, allow him to exit the penalty box after a goal is scored against. But I think overall the state of high school hockey is in pretty good shape. I think with a lot of the exposure, people are getting a little bit more akin to the goings-on of what a great product it is. It really, honestly, John, this is my favorite level. You always get 100% effort in each and every game that you go to, and they're very skilled, talented young players looking forward to a very bright future. But I don't think there's a lot broken on it, but I think that the penalty kill icing the puck is kind of one of those, not lightning rod because it's not that controversial, but it's just a minor adjustment that I think would benefit the game. But I always thought that if we could just extend it to 20 minutes, I think some of the third and fourth line players would get a little bit more ice time and get a chance to develop a little quicker.
That's a great point, Bart. You also mentioned that the high school product is really good right now, and I want to use today's game as an example of that. One of the top players for Chaska is Rhett Pitlick. Rhett Pitlick's brother didn't play Minnesota high school hockey. He was at Shattuck.
Yes.
Now he's a standout at the University of Minnesota. They're going to play a game against Edina coming up in a few days. Edina has Sammy Walker as an already NHL drafted player in his senior year. Sammy Walker's older two brothers went and played in the Western Hockey League.
Yeah, Ben and Jack.
I think Minnesota is doing a great job, and evidence of that is that some very, very high-level players continue to play through their senior year, and it's done wonders for player development. We've had high NHL draft picks recently, like Tufte, like Middlestat, and many more coming through the pipeline. With that, we're going to just wrap it up, take a break for the first period intermission. John Conley here with Bart Archer from Minnetonka High School and the Peggle Activity Center.
We are between periods here. Minnetonka hockey continues with some great high school hockey all year long, and we're happy to bring in our presenting sponsor, Scott Eichstad from the Sportsman's Guide. Scott, we got some great things to talk about. First of all, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, Pete, and thanks for having me.
Our pleasure, of course. So let's get into the Sportsman's Guide first. Obviously, you're a well-known website that covers a bevy of products for those that are, essentially sportsmen. And let's get into first what your company is and how it got started and how we find your products first online. And then we're going to get into your store, which I think our listeners and viewers are going to have a very intrigued opportunity from what you have.
Yeah, Pete, we're a multi-channel retailer. Started out in 1977. I've been in business for many, many years and started out as a catalog business, and now we've turned into an online e-commerce business. And we sell product that's for the outdoor enthusiast. You name it, we have it: ammo, shooting, firearms, hunting equipment, tree stands, military surplus, boots and shoes, clothing, fishing, camping. At wonderful, great pricing, and like you said, we have a hidden little secret, I'd like to say, that's connected to our corporate facility here in South St. Paul, part of the DC warehouse, as a retail store, and it's just a unique little store that the most general public probably doesn't know about it, and that's what I want to do, is get the word out that we have this wonderful store connected to our corporate building that is open to the public, and once they get in here, they'll be pleasantly surprised at all the offerings we have.
Well, tell us about the store experience and what the typical customer could experience when they walk in through those doors.
Well, again, we're located here in South St. Paul. What's unique about our store, Pete, is it's roughly about 7,000 or 8,000 square feet, and we carry all the product that we advertise through our catalog and e-commerce business. But the uniqueness of this store is, like I said, it's connected to our warehouse. So I like to call our warehouse basically the back storage room for the back stock room for our store. So when a customer comes in and shops our store, they're not only shopping within the four walls of the store. They can go through our catalog that we have on site in our will call area and visit go to our kiosk area and take a look at products online or through the catalog. All they have to do is identify what they're looking for. Store associate will go pick it out of the warehouse. And so our store goes from about 8,000 square feet, like I said, all the way up to roughly 300,000 square feet of product, because everything that we offer on our online business and catalog business, you can shop in our store. So we have 30,000 plus items in our warehouse that a customer can shop really easy. And with it being a smaller footprint, you don't have to walk around a big footprint store. You can go to one area, look through a catalog or on web, and we'll do all the work in regards to go get the product, bring it to you, have you do a try, fit it on, try it, touch it, feel it. And so I think that's the biggest uniqueness of our store, that it's a smaller footprint. It offers everything that your big brick and mortar stores do. But it's conveniently located right connecting to our warehouse, which makes it very convenient for the consumer to shop a variety of product that we offer.
So it's great, because it's one thing to be able to browse online, and you could even browse online if you want, but then you come to the store, and as you said, you can touch it and feel it, try it on if it's an apparel or clothing type item, and actually have the experience of the depth of what a lot of stores can only carry so much due to space, but you just said 300,000 square feet of warehouse space and all the product you need. The other thing that's really amazing is how easy it is to get to your location. It's right off 494 in Concord in South St. Paul.
Absolutely. Take Hardman off of 494 right here in South St. Paul, and it's we got a big billboard sign right on the freeway there that acknowledges our store, and very convenient and easy to get to for the general public. And again, like you said, it's easy to shop, and it's that hidden little secret that we're trying to get out there to the general public in the Twin Cities. And if they know our online business, why pay for shipping costs? You can drive right on down to our store and get the product without any shipping and handling fees.
And if you're from the greater Minnesota area and you're coming to the Twin Cities for family visits or whatever it would be, maybe through the holiday season or just on a random weekend, you might want to schedule that in if you're an outdoorsman and come on into the Sportsman's Guide and browse the store, purchase your product, touch it, feel it, and have a great experience. Now, there's something coming up, Scott, that we've been working together on that I'm really excited about. And it's coming up around the state tournament. Do you want to touch on that for a minute and let our listeners know what you've got going?
Absolutely. With my personal background with the game of hockey, you and I connected, and there was an opportunity to advertise through the Minnetonka high school hockey games. And what we have going on March 10th is during the state high school hockey ship tournament, the championship day. We're actually going to have Beyond the Pond radio on site at our store from 10 to noon. So Micheletti and Leopold and the group are going to be on site at our store doing the Beyond the Pond airing right here in our store. And I'm passionate to the game of hockey. Grew up in Bemidji, Minnesota, played youth hockey, played high school hockey, was able to play in 2 state high school hockey tournaments, was able to continue on and play Division I at St. Cloud State and some minor league hockey after that. And I got a brother-in-law, Brett Hedican, that played, I think it says for itself, but he played 19 years in the NHL, Stanley Cup winner, 2 Olympians. So hockey is a passion of mine and our family, and being able to bring that Beyond the Pond show to the Sportsman's Guide, there's really not any relevance of our product in hockey, but the person that enjoys the game of hockey is and lives in the state of Minnesota is usually passionate about the outdoors and hunts and fish and camps and and does all the things that Minnesota provides on the outdoor setting. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to get the great event of Beyond the Pond here at our store, and again, get awareness through that activity, to get awareness to our Sportsman's Guide store, to get the general public to know who we are, where we are, and what we provide, and connecting that to hockey and the great tradition of our state high school hockey tournament and Beyond the Pond show is just a wonderful opportunity to bring all those together.
Well, you're right. The great game of hockey is played outdoors. And so those that are compelled to the game are compelled to be outdoors, and there's a natural fit between everything. And your background in the game and being just south of the XL Energy Center, minutes south of it, it's just awesome. It's going to be a great weekend, and it's such a culmination. And you know what? I don't know. When you look at these teams in high school hockey, every year you always say, wow, can we top what we just experienced last year? And each year you do. And this year is already shaping up to be a very fascinating season. These Minnetonka Skippers are absolutely a part of that discussion, and it's going to be a lot of fun as we work through it. So what we're going to do, Scott, is we're going to be bringing you on between broadcasts of these Minnetonka games. And I know all the Tonka Skipper fans and ourselves that are doing these games are very appreciative of your support from the Sportsman's Guide. And we're going to continue to work this event and tell people why they need to be there. It's going to be fun. You're going to be able to pick up some great product as well. And then we're also going to say, hey, make sure, get over there, pick up your stuff, purchase it live and in person in the store. Why don't we do this? Can you toss out the address for those that are interested so they can put that into their Google Maps and get right to you?
Again, yes, we're conveniently located just off of 494 in South St. Paul. It's 490 Hardman Avenue, South St. Paul, Minnesota. Our store hours are Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 6, open till 7 on Thursdays, and then Sundays from 11 to 5. So come on down to the Sportsman's Guide, and you'll be pleasantly surprised the great product we have, all the assortment, and the great pricing that we have. Nobody around town will beat it.
Perfect, Scott. And then, for those that want to get a jump on the online scenario to browse your store, if you will, online before they come in, why don't you toss out the website as well?
Absolutely, www.sportsmansguide.com. Take a look at that. We have a Buyers Club membership program that I think a first-time consumer will be very enticed to take a look at that. And we have a very strong membership program. And once you become a Buyers Club member, you're a member for life. And it's a great opportunity for the consumer to be aware of that as well.
Great stuff. Scott Eichstadt, thank you for joining us once again. Between periods of Minnetonka Skipper hockey, he, of course, from the Sportsman's Guide. We'll be back with more right after this.
Fuel your passion for the great outdoors at Sportsman's Guide, your hometown outfitter for the best deals on outdoor gear for more than 40 years. From hunting, fishing, hiking, and camping, to firearms, archery, ammo, and more. You'll find it all here for less. Sportsman's Guide, everything to outfit your passion at the Twin Cities' best prices. In South St. Paul and online at sportsmansguide.com.
So we're good. And we're back. In case you just joined us, 1-0 the score. Minnetonka leads after a very impressive first period over the Chaska Hogs. Bart, you got a scoring summary for me?
Yes, so it's going to take a while, but no, it was McGannon unassisted. Really is the difference in the game, but as you said, it was Orion Elder that really spearheaded that zone entry and maintaining the puck, getting it out. So it was McGannon that really took advantage of a great opportunity, put them up by 1, but they had a couple good opportunities, so I'd like to give a tap on the pads to Justin Bach, the junior goaltender for this Hawks. He really kind of kept this a 1-goal game. A couple of the things that I liked about what Chaska did is I liked their forecheck. I liked the way they went after the puck. It's we send one guy in the puck, the second guy reads, but their angles were good. They really put Minnetonka kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit. I like the way that they defended the middle of the ice, but one thing, John, that I didn't really like is they couldn't sustain the pressure in the offensive zone. They get the puck down, but Minnetonka, albeit but challenge on their zone exits, Chaska really couldn't maintain any sustained pressure, and taking a couple stick penalties, you can't do that against Minnetonka.
Dr. Ludke, Hicks, Heim, very strong defensive group there. Miller and Kroll put in some good shifts as well. So I think you're spot on with how difficult it is to stay in the attacking zone when they can break it out like the Skippers can. Want to give you some scores from around the state. The one that really jumps out at me from Duluth today, 6-5 winners in overtime. Duluth East over Lakeville North. Great. Looks like there's a lot of parity this year. Duluth East came in. A lot of people expected them to be a top team, if not the top team. And here we've got a team out of Section 1. Lakeville gives them a real good game today.
Yeah, that was actually a slugfest, really, is what it was. Goals were being scored fast and furious in that game. It kind of settled down, but 6-5 game, as you said. But again, Duluth East has a lot of players returning. Obviously, when Randolph coaches a team, they have an excellent shot to make a long run. And congratulations to Ryan Paling being named to the USA junior team from that Lakeville North squad. So congratulations to that young man. Also, another score is Eden Prairie 5-4 winner over Blaine in overtime. It was Lesko that scored that goal after Eden Prairie tied it with 6:47 left in that third period. So Lee Smith has to be feeling pretty good to go up at the Fogarty Arena. Not an easy place to play and come out of there with a win. And Blaine has been surging of late, and that's a good quality squad. So big win for the Eagles of Eden Prairie.
Last night, in case you missed it, number 1 goes down in girls hockey, Centennial over Edina. So, a lot of competitive hockey being played throughout the state. This game certainly no exception. We're bracing for period 2. I'm going to make a commitment to everybody. I'm going to talk real fast because I know we've got a Vikings game. They just kicked off with Green Bay from Lambeau Field. So you have a commitment from me. I'm going to do my part to speak real fast and get out of here quickly. Big shout out to our sponsor. Thanks to Sportsman's Guide for today's game. Sportsman's Guide kind of responsible for today's internet stream, and can't thank you enough for watching. Teams are now sufficiently loosened up, and we're ready to get going with period 2.
Well, John, we have the long line changes, and this one very important day. If you have tired legs, get off the ice, get some fresh ones on. Hard to defend against either of these teams with tired legs. Got to be responsible.
kind of where we started out the game. Molnar, Lohheit, and Kothi going one way. Pitlick, Olmscheid, and Laval going the other. D-to-D pass from Lukey up to Doctor. Doctor plays it along the wall looking for Molnar. He takes it down into the corner but runs into Olmscheid. Saved by Bach. Faceoff comes now to his right.
Well, I like that play by Doctor. A lot of kids would, to square up and take the big windup and let everybody get into defensive position, but he just took a good, quick, hard wrist shot. A nice save by Bach, but if there's a second chance opportunity, Minnetonka had support. Nice save by the goaltender.
Big breakaway sprung here for Pitlick. Pitlick comes in, goes to his forehand, buries it, ties the game. Pitlick makes it 1-1.
Well, and for Pitlick, that's his 7th goal of the season, but really a nice zone exit. Obviously, stretch pass. We'll see it on the replay. Didn't get the number of the defenseman, but he hit him in stride, and he was behind the defenders. And there you can see it. A nice reception of that pass. Just went in, made the goaltender open up, put it between the pillows to tie this game at 1. That's got to give this Chaska Hawk team not only some energy, but some confidence moving forward. But the big hitter made a big play.
Bart, it's funny in watching this replay. It looked so simple. It was a designed.
Well, that might soften up the defense and pull them off the blue line a little quicker as well.
It was a designed face-off play in their own end, and it looked so simple in replay. Just a one draw. Defenseman takes 1.5 strides and sends a exit pass right between the D.
Yeah,
catches a streaking Pitlick in the neutral zone, and he goes in 125, 130 feet uncontested. That was a very impressive face-off play that tied the game.
Yeah, it's not only important what you do if you win the face-off, it's equally important as what you do when you don't win the face-off, and I think they caught him napping a little bit. Ooh, big save by Bach.
Nice shot there from the slot by Bayless. Minnetonka now the team trying to bounce back after giving up a goal. Clap bomber goes just wide. Big shot there by Heim. Walking in is Andrew Hicks, but he hits a shin pad. It bounces out to the side. Now it's a shot from Lagerbach. Big save. Bach. Faceoff comes to his left.
Wow, it's a nice shot by Lagerbach. One goal high glove side. Didn't get enough elevation on it, but kind of an irresponsible clear by the Hawks defender. Lazy off the board. Contained by Minnetonka. Walked it over, changed his angle, put a pretty good shot on Bach. Faceoff to his left. We're early in this second period. It's 1-1 game. Minnetonka showing some life.
Koster tries a dipsy dangle pass that doesn't quite get through. It's picked up by Andis. Andis has been voted by his teammates as best flow.
That's an important honor at this age, I'm sure.
They also call him the farmer boy. David Andis, number 27. He's the one that's expected to really bring it if they make the state tournament and help them represent onto the all hockey here team. Farmer boy, David Andis.
That's awesome. You gotta start early, right?
You don't just wake up one day in March and all of a sudden have lettuce.
A little calculated.
Yeah, it takes a while. McDonald in along the wall.
Boy.
Directs the puck toward the goal where it's covered up by Glockner. Faceoff comes to his left. Yeah, that's kind of a new ball game, Bart.
Yeah, indeed it is, and you can sense that a little confidence out of this Chaska Hawks team. It's not easy to come into this Bagel Activity Center and really have success. So far, they've kind of weathered the storm a little rope-a-dope in the first period, but now they look like they have a little bit more patience with the puck, and but they have to get between the dots and put more heat on Glockner.
We see Pitlick, Olmscheid, and Laval out there again for Chaska. I had a chance before the game to speak with assistant coach Thor Josephson. He said, these are some kids that have won a lot of games growing up, and they're ready. They're ready to win now. They're a younger team. They've got those sophomores, but they are not phased, and they expect to be able to win high school games this year. They're not looking forward to the future.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they can look forward to the future, obviously, but their future can be now. But Coach Snuggerud, there's nothing in this game that he's not familiar with, and he's going to put him in a position to succeed. But it's a great development right now. But you can just see the confidence in these kids. I mean, this is a game that if you know how to play it and you have the skill, you're going to have some success. He is very good at refining these kids and mentoring them and getting them in the proper position. They're going to be heard from for years to come.
Pitlick, the goal scorer, also committed to Minnesota. We mentioned Koster earlier. He plays on the line. The other wing is Laval. Laval's a 10th grader who's given a verbal commitment to Wisconsin. So a lot of high-powered talent on that Chaska Hawks team. One player we haven't seen today, Bart, number 2, Blair Warner. He's a verbal commitment to Nebraska Omaha, also NCAA Division I. They're having to go without the services of Warner today.
Well, and he can put the puck in the net on a couple goals on the year, but that Nebraska Omaha team, they're not shy about coming to Minnesota and grabbing some high-end talent.
Coster gains the red line, tries to find Benz with a pass, but ends up turning it over to Hicks. Hicks comes in, fakes the slap shot, takes it down into the corner, chips it toward the goal, and it rings around. Pre-game meal for Andrew Hicks used to be quinoa, but he has switched it to rice. Wonder if he had a bowl or two today.
I'm sure he did if it's his routine.
Yeah, he said he just couldn't make it through last season with quinoa the whole way. Fletcher gets the puck, gains the red line, dumps it down. He goes off for a line change, leaving Thomas out there to work the forecheck.
John, if you're going to give me a fun fact, let me know so I can write these down, okay?
You know what? I have
How about that?
I have mined Zamboni karaoke for some comedy gold here. Just can't say enough about the work being done on the State of Hockey website. And Game On Minnesota is pretty awesome. So nice shot there, goes just over. Knuckle puck from Litke gets away from him just over the crossbar. Played out to neutral zone. Doctor to Litke, get a stoppage of play. Cross-check the call. Minnetonka sends, I believe, Bobby Brinkoff with the minor, giving Chaska, all of a sudden in a tie game, a chance to take the lead.
Well, this is going to be a bit of a test for the skipper team, being a man down against a 27% power play, but
so we've got a setup issue here that we'll work through. Olmscheid takes the face off, works it back to Barrett. Barrett trying patiently to set something up on the power play, uses the point Magnuson. Back to Magnuson, now he's going to work far wall. Pitlick chips a short pass, Magnuson now working into the corner. Coster over to Pitlick. Pitlick reverses course and works out far side to Coster. Coster shoots this one just wide. Barrett unable to keep that in. It's down into the Hawk zone. Looks like 30 seconds has come off of this penalty. Magnuson back in his own end, leaves it for Coster. Coster with his head up enters the neutral zone. Gains the red line, tries to chip it in, and when a foot race down low, he works against Andrew Hicks. They ring the board, but it hits McDonald, gets knocked down. Hawks regain possession, but they're forced back into their own end. Barrett down behind the end line. Short pass to Magnuson, who gains the red line, dumps it in. They've given up possession, and it's an opportunity for Minnetonka to clear, which they do. Chipped out by David Andes to the neutral zone. Now Coster working up through neutral, gains the blue line, takes it over to his forehand, looking out into the slot. Chance to go ahead, but Benz cannot find enough of it to slide it past Glockner. Cuss extends the play by chipping it down low. Here comes Laval out of the corner. Chaska still on the power play for another 20 seconds. They've set up a lot of zone time here, looking for the deflection out front. It hits a skate and just evades Fletcher.
Plus, they're getting between the dots, so they're getting in tight. That's something that they failed to do. That's a nice thing about power plays. You can kind of work on things you haven't been able to do so far. But pretty good kill by Minnetonka. But really, I think the focus would be on the chance that the Hawks have generated. Minnetonka's got to be responsible, stay on the box if this Chaska power play is going to keep showing like this.
Big wrister. I can't tell. I think that was Starkey, just a little bit high, and it is covered by Glockner. 8 seconds to go. They can win the face-off here and get out of the zone. Should take care of the penalty. They do win the draw and bringing it over near side. Out to neutral zone. Little bit too far, but it does hit the stick of McGann, and he sets up a forecheck. Minnetonka is now full strength.
Boy, nice forecheck on that one by McGannon. He separated Kozak from that puck and really creating an opportunity.
Lutke, snapper. Oh, what a huge save by Bach. Keeps this one 1-1.
Well, and Bach's made a couple pretty good saves, and a lot of these shots are going high up into the chest and shoulder region, and those are difficult rebounds to contain, but he's done a really terrific job so far, limiting the second chance opportunities. Minnetonka is very good and very opportunistic. If there's a second chance, they generally can make that happen, but he's taken it away from them so far. It's a nice job by the goaltender.
Speaking about huge save there by Bach. Nice shot from the point. Almost snuck through there, but wrist shot there from Bayless at the point. You mentioned opportunistic, Bart. I think that describes the game we've seen so far. Minnetonka has dominated possession and zone time, but with that one play, face-off play out of their own end, stretch pass from Coster, springing Pitlick on a breakaway, we have a 1-1 game, even though they haven't quite had the equal amount of zone time here.
Well, it changes the dynamic on how Minnetonka holds on to the zone. So it might soften them up a little bit. It looks back like they're being back to pacing properly, not leaving the zone too early, but it's something that they have to be cognizant of, because I'm sure Chaska's going to go back to the well again before this game is over.
Lagerback hassling Bronson on the forecheck, eventually rung along the far boards. Laval not able to clear the zone. It's kept in by Doctor. Doctor looks down low, can't quite hook up with Brink for the goal. It just runs out of real estate and chips it into the side of the goal.
That was a nice challenge by Bach on that. Reinforced Brink to the outside a little bit, bought him enough time.
Shot from the point by Doctor. They're trying to spring it over to Bayless, who's on the weak side. Lagerbach back to the point. Lutke gets it to his forehand, backhand, fights through, but runs out of room and has to pull it out to the side. Now they're working the perimeter. Guitar solo from Bobby Brink. He had an overlapping Lutke that he looks off, and he keeps the puck on his stick. He's done a full lap and goes for the wraparound. Bart,
Team Youngblood,
can you come up with a measurement here?
No.
Pi r squared. Not sure what r is, but geez, he skated with that puck for a long time. He gets it back on his stick. Bobby Brink. Pass to Bayless. Bayless tries to get through 3 Hawks, but ends up turning the puck over, and he runs into him. Here comes Laval. Laval working to his forehand, and it's a nice pad save. Blockner, decent rebound control, kicks it out pretty far into the high slot, gives the Tonka defense a chance to clear. They enter the zone on a 4-man rush. Pass doesn't quite connect, but Lohite was looking for a tip there, seeing if they could sneak one by Bob. Icing the call.
Now things are opening up a little bit more in the second period. 8:28 left in this second period. We're not at it. 1 shots on goal right now. 20 for Minnetonka, just 8 for Chaska. But Chaska has got some offensive zone time, sustaining possession in that zone. But Minnetonka very responsible. Nice save by Glockner on that one. But it is the responsible defense that cleared that second chance. So Minnetonka still minding their defensive responsibilities quite well against a tough Chaska squad.
Puck was dropped with 8:28 left in the second period, which means we've hit the midpoint of this game. 1-1 if you just joined us. First period goal from Minnetonka put them ahead. It's credited to Mitch McGannon. Second period, the equalizer, Pitlick with an assist to Coster. Face-off now comes to Glockner's right.
Well, nice shot by Osell, just top of the left dot, one motion, put a good shot on net, but once again, Glockner made a good save.
Chipped out to neutral zone. Kuss on the back check manages to get a stick in there and take it away from Molnar, but Molnar has the puck bounce back to him, almost like a Velcro puck, keeps winding up on his stick. Osell with a nice neutral zone pass, hits McDonald. McDonald hounded there by Dylan Heim, unable to keep possession of it, but he did advance to the end wall. Pass out in the slot to Osell. Osell's snapper a little bit deflected, goes wide. Oh, the defenseman Starkey ran over the official, leads a 2-on-1. Slap shot goes just wide by Lohite. Can you believe what just happened right below us?
Yeah, and I don't know if the camera has the availability to pick that up, but it was Osell that was trying to come off, caught an edge, got down to the defense, and then he caught an edge, and Minnetonka came down 2-on-1. It was Lohite that opted for the big slap shot. I don't know if that's the best decision he's made this year, but Minnetonka coming down with an odd man rush is a little unusual, but a couple blown tires in the neutral zone really created a trying moment for this Hawks team.
Just a disaster when you're backing up and run over an official.
That's wow.
He had the puck. Lohite is a verbal commit to the University of Minnesota Duluth. Bart, I'm going to make you feel old here. Lohite, unfamiliar with sticks, come sail away. I've never heard of that.
Probably doesn't want to, but that's funny. But they're going to get a good one. He's got a little grit to his game, plus he's got some soft mitts as well, so they're going to get a good one up there in Duluth.
Starkey dumps it in down to the end wall. Hawks try to set up their forecheck. Quickly out of the zone, working the other direction. Tonkin Elder Nice pass there and a huge save. Mitch McGannon trying to get his second goal of the game, stoned by Bach.
Well, Minnetonka, almost another odd man rush, but really a nice back check by Fletcher of the Hawks. Really tried to kind of at least to rush the play a little bit. I think he got rid of it a little earlier than possible, but Minnetonka starting to get a little bit of flow, a little bit odd man rush. So that's a good sign, but once again, Bach has been tall and making these saves. Obviously, he has to instill a little bit of confidence in this Hawks team, but they can't give this Minnetonka team too many odd man rushes.
So Bart, we've been talking about how many of these players are committed to Division I schools. Josh Lutke has played some USHL games this year, and he's headed to Northern Michigan. Did you know Minnetonka has another Division I player? It's just that backup goaltender Cam Smrekar, he's a baseball player, multi-sport athlete.
Yeah, I remember Lakeville North when they went on their run. There was a young man named Altavia that went to Nebraska and plays baseball for them. So you like those multi-sport athletes.
Especially if they're good at hockey.
Yes, especially if they're good at hockey, absolutely.
Yeah. Breakout far side stretch pass all the way up to Bayless. He fights through there, tries to dangle through the goaltender. Bronson kind of wound up on the wrong side of him, and it's a scoring chance for Jack Bayless.
But it was a nice stick work by Justin Bach, the junior goaltender for the Hawks, to poke that off the stick and out of trouble.
If you just joined us and you're wondering why the game was tight, I think a lot of credit goes to Bach. He's been outstanding in goal for the Hawks.
Yeah, he's been challenged a couple times and really picked up his team when they needed it.
Cussel on the end wall, fighting a battle against Lohheit. Lohheit's able to break it out near side. Short pass connects to Kofi, and he enters the zone, working to his forehand, shoots it up over that far corner, just barely misses. Going the other direction, this is Cuss. They chip it down to the end wall, and it's McDonald in pursuit. Reversing course and hitting Molnar are the Skippers. He makes a short pass to Kofi. He gets another chance. This time he goes to his backhand, works through the defenseman, but he loses the puck as he breaks past Starkey. And just an opportunity for the Hawks to clear the zone. Magnuson right in front of us, runs into a Skipper defender. And now it's played out of the clothing of Molnar. Takes a shot into the glove. Another big save by Bach. 4:56 remaining, period 2.
Well, that was a big shot by Molinar from this angle. We didn't know if it was wide, but it was really an impressive save by Bach. That would have had a little zip on it. But as we've talked about Bach a number of times, and I have a feeling we're going to be talking about him a lot in the third period as well. But this is getting into the time where, just under 5 minutes in the second period, the long line changes, get the tired legs off. But Bach has done a good job of, when there's a vulnerable moment by this Hawks team, he comes up big.
3-on-2, Hawks end up turning the puck over to Andrew Hicks. He knows the fight song. Tips it out to neutral zone. Hawks in retreat. They need to break out. They get a breakaway opportunity for Pitlick if they can headman him the puck. Little late in doing so, and now we're going the other way. This is David Andes. Andes wide side. Snapshot right into the breadbasket. Bach with yet another save.
Well, again, it was Magnuson that forced him the outside. The Hawks have been pretty good about keeping things on the periphery, shallowing out the angles, and giving the goaltender a chance to square up, really taking away a lot of the netting on that one. So, very responsible play by this Chaska team. And I like the fact that forwards are coming back to help so the defense can play a little bit more aggressive and have faith that the responsibilities are being tended to.
Play at neutral zone. It's stuck in a few skates and ends up popping out to Bobby Brink. Big shot and another save by Bach.
Well, Costa forced that one. Once Brink saw that it was Costa that he was going against, I think he forced that play a little earlier than Brink wanted. If it was anybody else, he may have tried to do a little bit of a dangle, but that one he just got that shot off. But that's a lot of respect for Costa from Brink.
Glove save Bach. Face-off now comes to his right.
Boy, they keep testing him on the glove side, don't they, John? So far, he's come up quite well, but again, shots on goal now 26-10. So Minnetonka starting to turn up that offensive heat. That's their 11th shot on goal this period, and we still have 4 minutes left.
Easily out of the zone off of the face-off are the Hawks. It's McDonald working with Osell to get it down to the end wall, eventually turning the puck over to Lohheit. Lohheit's uncle, Sean Goldsworthy, is the coach of the Skippers, which means his grandfather is the big scorer from the Minnesota North Stars in the 70s, Bill Goldsworthy.
Oh, one of my favorite players between him, Jude Druin, and J.P. Parisi. What a line that was for the North Star fans.
You're dating yourself.
Well, I don't care.
I don't know who you're talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Well played, John. I
nice.
could talk Charlie Burns and Wayne Conley too. So that's just to expose myself a little more.
Nice breakout pass from Charlie Klockner, went up the right side to Molnar. Eventually they circled back into the run and maintained possession. And it's the drag shot, changing that angle. Lowhite hit a skate, but he was using the screen there, using the defenseman as an eclipse.
That was a good play.
3-on-2 play. Pitlick over to Laval, but just a little bit behind him. Laval along the wall, shot in a big rebound, directed straight off to Kofi.
Quick clear.
Kofi, yeah. Molnar runs into some static and turns the puck over. Puck's now coming the other way. Pops out onto the stick of Pitlick. He tries to walk the defender, came out on the other side from Lutke and almost got the puck from him. Now it's Laval trying to chip it around Doctor. Doctor gets the pass up through the neutral zone. And it's a huge skate save there. Oh my goodness. Great scoring chance there from Minnetonka.
Yeah, Elder didn't quit on that play. The initial shot was blocked, but he followed it up. Again, a trying moment for Chaska. They weathered the storm, but really nice play by Elder.
I think one of the storylines in our game that we've seen so far, we're coming close to the end of the second period, that line of Andis, McGannon, and Elder has been outstanding today for Minnetonka.
Indeed they have.
Trailer there. McGannon with the shot, rebound left on the doorstop, Andis into the empty net. I believe that's going to be Andis from McGannon.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. We'll wait for the official scoring, but I think you're dead on that one. For Andis, that's his second goal unofficially, a driving force in that first goal as well. So on the offensive score sheet, but big goal for Minnetonka in the waning moments of the second period. That's got to give them a little energy. What I think Coach Schnuggerud has to do is get the guys refocused a little bit. Don't get too excited about it. It's just one good shot. But it'll be interesting again to see how Chaska responds. I like the way they responded last time. Let's see if they can do it again. Just 2:09 left in the second period. Minnetonka up by 1 now.
Bayless gets there first. Down low to Lagerbach. They say Doctor and Lutke, not McGannon. Doctor and Lutke. We obviously have the video. You can go back and rewatch that several times if you want to confirm. I thought I saw a shot there from McGannon, and Andy's grabbing the puck on the doorstep.
Well, one nice thing about hockey players is I don't think they really care who scores as long as it's a check in the right column for them. So 2-1, I think, is all that's important for this Minnetonka team. I don't think they care. They just want to build on this right now, but the challenge is in front of Chaska to finish this period strong and responsible.
Speaking about finishing the period, just 1 minute and 40 seconds left in period 2. If you just joined us, we had the airing of the grievances at the end of period 1 where Bart Archer talked about some things that he thought could be improved from Minnesota hockey. Really didn't come up with much, and that says a lot about the strength of the game. Our period 2 break, I'm putting Bart on the spot. He's recently worked some games with number 1 Edina, and today working number 2 Minnetonka. They'll meet up in the first round of the Schwann Cup from Ritter Arena, 7:30 p.m. on December 26th. Then they'll meet each other twice during section play and district, league, whatever, what do you call those, conferences, and then possibly in the state tournament. So, Bart, I'm going to ask you to talk about how Minnetonka and Edina stack up with each other, and then we'll take our intermission and be back for period 3. This one whistles through the slot. Now it's Lowhite fighting a battle down in the corner, chips it over to Molnar, Molnar to Lowhite. Back to the right point, slap bomber just wide by Lutke. Rings all the way back to Doctor. Koster's going to get their first opportunity for the Hawks to clear the zone with a minute left in the period. Bart, we've seen very few of those trouble spots you sometimes get in the second period with that longer line change.
Well, I think both teams are being responsible. Both coaches really know this game inside and out, and they have their kids prepared to play. So, you know, it's always better to get off the ice early than late, and I think that they've had some fresh legs. Kept a pretty good pace in the second period. Sometimes, as you say, you get your lulls and you get some vulnerabilities. So far, both teams have played, had a really good showing in the second period.
Minnetonka wearing Gemini Athletic wear jerseys. Chaska wearing K1 jerseys. Great to see 2 top Minnesota high school programs wearing Minnesota companies' products on the ice, both looking quite stylish. Near side shot goes just up over the corner. Mitch McGannon. Oh, hits a skate and bounces right on the blue line for big wrister from Lutke. Has a waffle saved by Bach. We get a stoppage, face-off coming to his right.
Well, I don't think that's ideally what Lutke wanted to do. He did get the shot on goal. I don't think he got the velocity on it, but upper blocker side, but nice job by Bach to just not only make the save, but direct it up and out of play. Fresh legs out on the ice for this Chaska team. Just 23 seconds left. They got the big boppers out there.
Holmscheid wins the draw. They rub Koster off of it behind the goal line, and Minnetonka manages to set up their forecheck, trying to get one more scoring chance with just 10 seconds left in the period. Down low in the direction of Lagerbach, cleared to the blue line, but not out. There's a shot that was certainly a danger spot, as got deflected a couple times on its way to the net. End of period 2, it's 2-1. Minnetonka leads. Goal scoring summary for the period. Chaska tied it. That was Pitlick from Koster. Then at the end of the period, Minnetonka goes ahead. Goes to the books as Andes from Doctor and Lutke. I believe McGannon took the shot. We'll watch that again just to make sure. But anyway, 2-1, end of 2. Bart, thoughts about the game so far?
Well, I really like what I see from this Chaska team. A lot of teams come in here and might be able to show some energy and hang with the skipper squad for, the first 10 minutes or the first period perhaps, and then they kind of wane off and Minnetonka starts to kind of take control. That really hasn't happened. Minnetonka obviously got their chances, 30 shots on goal in 2 periods. But Chaska, I think, did some nice things. They got some offensive zone time, but I think they defended pretty well. But I think that when they did have their vulnerabilities or the wheels started to wobble a little bit, I think it was Bach that came up and really lifted their spirits and kind of protected them in vulnerable times. So, overall, a pretty good period. I look for a great pace in this third period.
I think you've got to be real excited if you're wearing the yellow and purple jerseys to be in the locker room knowing that you only trail by a goal and have had some of those scoring chances. They're a little bit more of an opportunistic team. They're not going to dominate the zone minute after minute, shift after shift, but they have been able to spring some of their high-skilled players in transition to generate some scoring chances. So I think Chaska's got to be feeling great going into the second intermission.
Well, and this is a really good time. These are kind of with young kids. You can use these as kind of teaching moments, so to speak. And I think that it's all about the maturity of the hockey player. I'm not saying they're inexperienced. They're just young at this level, but it'll help with the maturity of this team moving forward, playing against Minnetonka in unfriendly environment. So I think it's only going to benefit them. They're going to be a better team at the end of this game than they were going into it, and that says a lot. And they've held in quite well, so they have a lot to be very, very proud of.
So, Bart, nobody's going to stick around to listen to us talk after the game. So if we're going to get it out of the way, we better do it now. Number 2 Minnetonka plays number 1 Edina just 3 days from now. Then they're going to meet each other a couple times during late conference play. You've seen both teams enough to have some thoughts for how those two match up with each other. What do you think is going to happen when the top 2 teams in the state face off against each other?
Well, I don't know if I know what's going to happen, but I know the pace is going to be toward. I think it's going to be a speed game. I think both teams actually not only have good forward speed, but really on the back line is where both of these teams kind of separate themselves from a lot of teams in the state. I think Edina's got 4 potential D1 defenders. Very difficult to navigate through. We're talking Brinkman and Boltman as far as the 1-2 pair, and then you have Lutke and Doctor on the other side. So, they match up pretty well. I think Edina's speed as far as top to bottom, I don't know if there's a team that can really rival that. But the speed is one thing, but being able to execute at high speed is going to be Edina's challenge. But Minnetonka plays defensively very responsible. They're just going to have to play probably one of their better games to best Edina. But Edina and Minnetonka are both 3-zone teams, 2-direction teams that work very, very hard. But if you have a chance to watch this game, I would say might be one of the premier games of the year. But I think Edina, just with their depth, their 3rd and 4th lines, I think really kind of set them apart from a lot of teams. It's just a question of whether Minnetonka's depth can answer the call in that particular game. But it promises to be a good one with a really torrid pace.
What we've seen tonight with Andes, McGannon, and Elder is things don't fall off very fast for the Skippers.
No.
I think that bodes well for them.
Absolutely.
Also wanted to mention I caught a game on Tuesday night. I went over to the Snoopy Arena in St. Paul to see Edina play Cretin Durham Hall. And Cretin was not fazed at all by Edina's speed.
No.
They had a lead and had a chance to go up 2-0 on a breakaway. It was a nice save by Mackay. And then in the second period, they didn't really get any help from the official. There was a minor penalty called on one of Edina's defensemen who proceeded to ring the puck along the boards and shoot it 200 feet to the other end. They didn't ring him up, believe it or not, for an unsportsmanlike, which you normally would see. Edina kills the 2 minutes, gets 2 goals right after that. I think if there's a second penalty called there for firing the puck out of frustration, it would have been a little different tone of the game. Hornets ended up winning 5-2, but it wasn't a stretch to say that Cretin could leave the ice knowing, hey, we might be able to beat them if things went our way. So I think Minnetonka should be excited about that game, chomping at the bit to get a chance to play against them. One of the things we'll talk about during period 3 is what happened with these programs during the youth ages. I think Minnetonka has some real reasons to feel they might even be sold short if they're not viewed as a favorite in a game like that.
Well, it all comes down to the feeder systems, and really, in Minnesota, the feeder systems, I think, are raising up a level. I think Edina's got one of the best. I think a lot of the players come back and give back to the system. So as far as their programs and numbers, I think, Minnetonka and Edina, really most everybody in the lake, Hopkins might be an exception because it's not as big of a community. But you always get great effort when you're talking about Lake Conference teams. They can't afford not to work extremely hard. And Lee Smith's team works into that mix, as does Coach O'Leary's team as far as Wayzata. And even Coach Peterson's team on Hopkins. That's an awful hard-working team. But, boy, they're in an awful tough conference. But it promises to be a must-see game. So if you get a chance, go out and watch. I mean, this Edina team is just fun to watch. Their top 2 lines are very speedy, and then they bring the Shoemaker line out there, and he's got a little grit to it. So they can kind of check a lot of the proper boxes, as can this Minnetonka team.
It's Festivus, and you're watching Minnetonka play Chaska. Bart just told you, make sure you get down to Ritter on Boxing Day when the Skippers face the Hornets in the first round of the Schwann Cup. I want to thank Sportsman's Guide for being the sponsor of today's internet stream. We're going to take a break here for intermission. I'm John Conley, joined by Bart Archer from the Pagel Activity Center. Your score, 2-1. Minnetonka leads Chaska.
Fuel your passion for the great outdoors at Sportsman's Guide, your hometown outfitter for the best deals on outdoor gear for more than 40 years. From hunting, fishing, hiking, and camping, to firearms, archery, ammo, and more. You'll find it all here for less. Sportsman's Guide, everything to outfit your passion at the Twin Cities' best prices. In South St. Paul and online at sportsmansguide.com.
And we're back. This is John Connolly, joined by Bart Archer at the Pagel Activity Center on campus at Minnetonka High School. Bart, we've got a great game going so far. Chaska trails 2-1, but they've had some excitement and some scoring chances to where this one's certainly not over yet. Minnetonka comes back to the ice, and they're firing on all cylinders, ready to see if they can pull away in the third.
Yeah, the Hawks are just one good shot away from tying this game up, and they've showed, some offensive life. I think the concern has been to just sustain that offensive zone time. Sometimes it's just in the zone, get a quick shot, and Minnetonka back out of the zone quickly. If they can kind of get some follow-up opportunities against Glockner, I think that would bode very, very well. But Minnetonka really kind of settled into a groove and got in tight between the dots and really put some pressure on the goaltender Bach. He made a couple big saves. Otherwise, it might be 3-4, 5-1 at this point. But again, they're one good shot away. But this promises to be a very torrid pace. But you have to play responsible. Don't turn the puck over and keep working hard.
So, Bart, the public address was hyping that game. We were doing our job to hype it. Minnetonka plays Edina 3 days from now in the first round of the Schwann Cup. Number 1 and number 2 in the state facing off against each other. And I mentioned, I don't think the Skippers would feel as though they're an underdog. And the reason I say that is historically, the state Bantam champion of Minnesota has been an indicator of future success at the high school level with a 2-year lag. So something that we'll be talking about as we go in the period is just how strong that correlation has been. It isn't just recently Rapids 2017 high school champs, Bantam champs 2014, Edina state champs in high school 2013 and 2014. They won the Bantam championships in 2012 and 2013. I can go way back. 1990 Bantam championship game, Jefferson beat Moorhead. Jefferson then runs off 3 state titles, 92, 3, and 4. Moorhead 3 state runner-ups, 92, 4, and 5. Tonka won 2 Bantam championships back-to-back, not too far in the rear view.
No, in fact, and those are some pretty solid programs that you're speaking of. Here we go.
Chance to tie it there. Ends up getting steered to the side. Pitlick now trying to work it back in front, unable to connect with Lavelle. Bolnar enters the zone, works for his forehand. Shot hits the stick and bounces up over. So, 2015, the Bantam final game, it was played up in Duluth. Minnetonka beat Edina. Those kids are now seniors. 2016, Minnetonka beat Moorhead. Those kids that were 9th graders on that team are now juniors. So Minnetonka has a lot of kids who have a lot of success and have won. I mentioned the correlation. I'm going to go way back on you, Bart. 1983, emerged Edina, the second year of existence, lost first round to Columbia Heights. Do you remember why?
No.
Reggie Miracle. His name was Reggie Miracle. But you know what? Miracle might be overstating it. Columbia Heights, 1980 Bantam champs. Then Jefferson, 1979 Bantam champs, won the high school tournament in 81. So I could go on and on. This even goes back to the point where those games were played outdoors. I think everybody gets the point. It's a fascinating correlation to look up. So the point is, Minnetonka, nice scoring chance there. Minnetonka has every reason to believe, hey, we beat these guys when we were Bantams. Until they beat us, we're top dog. And I think everybody that sees the game on December 26th, Boxing Day, is going to see a great hockey game.
Yeah, and I don't think Minnetonka is going in thinking they're top dog against Edina, or at least that's Edina's perspective. But again, the thing about high school is kids mature at different rates as far as mentally and physically. And that's where the variable really comes into this. But you're right, there is a direct correlation, obviously, with success in Bantams and success through high school. And it's just a couple of years. But once these kids physically mature, as long as they have good coaching, which obviously they do, they're going to grow to be outstanding talents, and that's what we're seeing today.
Big shot just moments ago from Mitch McGannon. This McGannon, Elder, and Andy's line has just been outstanding today. They've scored both goals for the Skippers, and now they're pounding the net and getting more pucks on.
But they're pretty big, mature young men. I mean, they can create space with their skill, but also their size is something that Chaska's been having a tough time wrestling with as well.
Hicks fires a long pass that doesn't connect, but icing is waved off as it was tipped. This gives Minnetonka an opportunity to complete a line change, get out some fresh forecheckers. Breaking out through the neutral zone is Bronson, goes under the stick of Olmsted, and now Lavelle tries to chip it down into the corner. It's going to be Lowhite that gets here first for the Skippers. Beautiful counter move. He's got nobody interrupting him coming out the near side. Pass up to Molnar, who gains possession, gains the blue line, cuts to his forehand, rattles one off the post. My ears are ringing. That's, the third post or crossbar hit by the Skippers today, Bart?
Yeah, that one probably had the best opportunity to really go in, but it was a good shot by Lutke. But again, nice job of tracking the puck, but it just seems like the Hawks are getting a little soft at their blue, and they're giving the line away, allowing Minnetonka to come in and get those shots. Forwards are going to have to come back, but those defense are going to have to use that blue line as a line of defense and step up and really interrupt the stride. They're giving the zone away.
Looks like McDonald in the face-off circle. Out there with Benz and Thomas.
Good defense by Costa on that one. Took that pass away.
Skating through the neutral zone is Benz. He enters the zone, drags it over to his backhand, bodied off the puck by Doctor. Doctor comes out far side. Breakout pass intercepted by Benz. It's going to be Lutke that tries the exit pass. He connects with Lowhite. Lowhite leaves a drop pass for Molnar. Molnar down to Lowhite. Lowhite fights along across the far boards, eventually runs into Coster, turns the puck over. Coster's pass to Thomas doesn't quite connect. It's chipped back in. Minnetonka goes for a full forward line change. All three come off. Now they set up the neutral zone trap. Dumped on goal. Hawks complete their line change. Minnetonka tries to work the breakout to a streaking Brink. Brink manages to chip the puck to neutral, but loses possession in the process. Magnuson dumps it down to Kroll. Entering his own drop pass, and it's into the back of the net. That's Jack Bayless burying the snapper, assisted by Bobby Brink. That puts Minnetonka up 3-1.
Well, again, it was Brink that brought that puck into the zone, a little softer the blue line. There you can see. Created some space just back, as you said, to Bayless, and that's his 6th goal of the season. One of those difficult ones to contain, just about a foot off the ice, glove side. Bach couldn't corral that one up. Now it's a 2-goal lead by Minnetonka. It just seems like the Hawks are losing their composure a little bit, getting rid of the puck a little bit early. Earlier in the game, they had the confidence to carry the puck, look up, make a play, or at least anticipate. Now they're in a reactive mode to what Minnetonka is doing. They have to kind of right their ship, otherwise it's going to get out of hand. But 3-1 Minnetonka. Well, they had the right guy taking that shot. Bayless, no stranger to scoring goals. That was a very good shot, a well-earned. You have to feel a little bad for Justin Bach. He's made so many nice saves, and that's a save that he's made earlier in this game, but it was just a good shot by Bayless. But it did kind of change the mood. It looks like we're going to have a penalty to Tonka, and that's going to be on Bayless. The goal scorer going to spend 2 minutes in the box. Didn't see the call, but what a great opportunity it is for Chaska. Get a little life, get a little enthusiasm, change the momentum of this game, or at least take some back.
The sun goes down, the stars come out, and we have an example there as Brink enters the zone. Beautiful drop pass. Brink, as I mentioned earlier, a sophomore, already verbally committed to University of Denver, used to be called DU, Denver University, and setting up Bayless. And, it's eventually something, Bach can only make so many saves. There have been 35 shots on goal. That's just the third one to sneak past him, puts the Skippers up 3-1. Chance to cut into that margin. Coster chipping it toward the upper corner on the near side. Nice save from Minnetonka's Charlie Glockner. Puck is chipped onto the Minnetonka bench, and we'll get a Face-off coming to Glockner's left.
Well, Glockner's only faced 11 shots, but a couple have been challenging. Koster did a nice job of buying some time, went around the net, and took a quick cut, getting out in front and tried to go short side. But Glockner's really done, when called upon, he's risen to the occasion and kept that puck out of the net. But again, we have 1:29 left in the penalty to Bayless. Very important face-off for Chaska.
They managed to keep the puck in at the point momentarily, but a pass is deflected out to neutral zone by an outstretched Ryan Elder, getting up his body
to block it. That's quite a game tonight.
Play right in front of us. Elder chips it in, trying to run some more time off the clock. Forces the Hawks to work a regroup. There's just 7 seconds remaining in this power play. Koster behind his own goal. Comes out the far side, couple strides, and he's through the neutral zone. Gains the blue line, cuts to his forehand. Pass out to Pitlick. Pitlick's shot saved by Glockner. Magnuson unable to keep it in at the point. They'll have to regroup. We are down just to 45 seconds remaining.
And that's what Koster likes to do. Fly up the side, then check up and get it to the trailer. It worked perfectly, but a good save by Glockner.
Barrett jumps around the defender, gains the zone, cuts over to his backhand, keeps it on his stick, takes it through Gretzky's office, and he passes it into the near corner. Back to Barrett. Pulls it off of Pitlick's stick, chips it over to short pass to Pitlick, who looks out front, trying to get it to Fletcher. Fletcher fights a battle, but he can't quite get enough of a stick on it before the Glockner cover.
Boy, that was a nice little sauce pass by Pitlick on that one. Didn't have a lot of room to move, but he made it work, dropped it right in front. And a nice redirect, but Glockner takes up a lot of space. He was down on his pad, so not a lot of offering there. But again, good pressure by the Hawks. They're going to have to sustain it. 20 seconds left in the penalty to Bayless, so they still have some time. But this is where faceoffs are going to become very, very important, especially down by 2 goals in the power play. Chaska's got to win this faceoff, or at least get possession and put some pressure on.
I like what I saw there, Bart. Just 20 seconds left to go in this power play, but trailing 2 goals early in the third period. A real sense of urgency from the Hawks. They could be content to just run a possession game and play around the perimeter all day. That's kind of been the downfall recently for the women's Olympic team in their friendlies against Canada. But you can see they're trying to get pucks to net, not afraid to try to play down in that dirty area.
No, they have to.
Skippers kill the penalty. Pass does not quite connect to Bayless as he comes out of the penalty box. We get a whistle for an offside call. Face-off now coming back down in Glockner's end to his right.
Well, I think if you're Coach Snuggery, you have to feel pretty good about the possession. They got a couple really good looks. Really forced the Minnetonka goaltender to make some saves. But again, if you're Sean Goldsworthy, you killed off a penalty at a trying moment. You were pressured and the team weathered that storm. So I think a little residual energy. Ooh, boy, right off the draw.
Benz took it through the wickets on the centerman. Jumped around the other side and slapped one in the direction of Glockner. Almost slid it through underneath the arm, but a stoppage brings us back, same face-off circle to the goaltender's right.
Yeah, and Benz is one of those offensive players, but he had a mindset to go right for the goal. He almost pulled that one off.
Kept it along the wall by Brunson. Now we've got Thomas dumping it down, pinning the Skippers back into their own end. Breakout opportunity for Heim. They come up near side. Goes through Molnar's legs, but he does get it out to neutral. Now it's a streaking Luke Lohheit. Lohheit, he goes over forehand, tries to slide it underneath the leg of a sliding Bach, unable to bury that. Now it's transition play the other way. Backhand by Koster. Second effort. Charlie Glockner makes the save and kind of got some overused term here, fire wagon hockey.
Indeed. But Koster, really a nice job of navigating through the neutral zone, really creating some space, a little hesitation, delay. Really challenged the defenseman. I think it was Heim that actually forced him to make that shot. But boy, when he's got the puck, everybody's on attention. He's very, very skilled, and he's got some good speed too. But he knows exactly what he wants to do.
So Bart, you've had your turn. Now it's my turn for the airing of the grievances. Fire wagon hockey is a term that needs to go away.
Yeah.
And the most overused cliche. Lavelle coming in, side breakaway, buries it into the near corner. It's 3-2. Beautiful goal by Lavelle. Short side up over the glove of Charlie Glockner.
Yeah, Lavelle's speed, I think they showed him a lot of respect in that. When he gained the zone, he had speed, and it looked like Minnetonka went into a retreat mode to a certain degree, gave him some space, and he just made the goaltender commit. That's what you want to do if you can. And Glockner committed a little bit early on that one, right down there. Maybe it was that shimmy as far as that goes, kind of made him commit, but just up and over the shoulder, glove side under the bar. High cheese brings him within 1.
So that leads perfect transition here. I don't know how you can have an unassisted goal when the defenseman right in front of me, I didn't see who it was, but there was a left shot defenseman playing on the right side that chipped the puck up, and it's a beautiful goal there from Laval. So, sorry we can't figure out, but at least I know there was an assist. But a beautiful transition. I mentioned the airing of the grievances. Most overused, second most for me is fire wagon hockey. That's a term that's got to go away. But the worst description when somebody buries it, as he did just there, is saying that the shot went where Mama hides the cookies.
Oh.
I cannot stand that.
Oh, wow.
Like nails on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Most overused term in hockey broadcasting.
Well, I have a tend to beat certain phrases into the ground quite a bit, but I'm a little surprised at that, John, to be honest with you.
I don't like it. So, if you take something away from me, I would be completely handicapped. Back of the net is my goal call. I don't know that I could change it if I wanted to. I bet I've used it at least 2 of the 5 goals today.
Well, I know whenever I do games with Wags, if ever you say cookie, it always brings a smile to his face.
Yeah. Well,
not anymore, though. I'm sorry, Pete.
The other one that, he drops the stick. Osell would have been sprung on a breakaway there on a short pass from Monscheid. The other one that I can't live without, if I can't describe some bodying along the wall as a scrum, I don't know what I would call it.
Scrum works.
Here comes Lohheit. Lohheit trying to get on the board. He's had a few good scoring chances today. The rat move denied.
Yeah, he works his edges really, really well. Very strong on the skates, but likes to come in on the left side and work his edges in front of the net.
Molnar tried a counter move, but he runs into Magnuson on the far wall. Magnuson able to dump it down. No icing call allows the Hawks to gain some zone time. Just what they need. Trailing 3-2 in the third period. They have been very proficient at bearing the limited chances they've had. Add it all up, and despite trailing 36-15 on the shot clock, they're just down 3-2 with a chance to tie it up if they get one more swing of the bat. Oh, nice shot there by Lohheit. Huge save by. Oh, it's a beautiful pass. Walking in, and yet another massive save by Bach. Pass down low, though, from Kothi. Who is it in the goal?
That's Lohheit.
Lohheit again. He's just swarming the puck.
Well, again, you're talking about the youth of this Chaska team. They might not be, and I'm not trying to point anybody out, but they might not be as physically developed. And Loheit's a pretty strong young man that has a nose for the net, so trying to contain him is not an easy challenge. He made it into the net, and I think Bach took a little bit of an exception, but that's something that the Hawks are going to have to deal with. I mean, you have to block them out as best you can. So far, they've done pretty good, but Loheit's getting a couple chances early in this third period.
Great play off the faceoff. They get it to Thomas, who manages to gain the zone, looking out front for his line mate. Pass doesn't quite connect, but at this point, just 7 minutes to go in the game, the Hawks want to make sure they play down on the right end as much of the time as they can. Bayless works along with Brink along the end wall. Out to Brink into the slot to Lagerbach, but as he goes to shoot, it's tipped away by one of those active sticks from the Hawks. Rink wide pass, a little bit too far and bouncy. Thomas can't settle it down. Gives the Skippers a breakout opportunity, but it's turned over right onto the stick. I don't think he's on my line sheet. Starkey has not been on. Oh, there he is. Starkey's kind of an extra player here on my line sheet, so I think it's about the 4th time today, Bart. I haven't been able to locate him.
Well, again, but better late than never, right? But all these guys, we appreciate the effort we put in. A lot of hard-working players on this team.
Just a nightmare opportunity there, trying to break out. Miller put it on Starkey's tape. Minnetonka does not want to make that turnover, leading to an odd-man rush the other way.
No,
I'm sure at this point, just gain that red line, get it down, puck's in deep.
Absolutely, and then Starkey followed it up, trying moment again.
McDonald near side, trying to slide one past Glockner. Not enough Vaseline on the puck, doesn't slide through. He gets the cover, 6:08, faceoff comes to his right. Got an exciting conclusion coming up last half of the period.
Oh, absolutely. It was a nice effort by the Hawk forward. I think you said it was McDonald that tried to go short side, tried to sneak it between the goaltender and the post, but Glockner, very responsible, took that away from him. You know, if a goaltender at this juncture of the game gets a chance to freeze that puck, they're going to freeze it, especially the Chaska Hawks, so they can get some fresh legs out there.
Bart, get used to seeing these guys. Pitlick, Olmstead, and Laval out for the Chaska Hawks. I think they'll be out every other shift, and if we can get a timeout, they might even double up. Gonna make sure they do everything they can to try to get that tying goal. And it's into the post. Wide side now. He hits the the outside of the goal. David Andy swarming there. Had a backhand into the post and almost got it on the other side. That's the fourth post or crossbar for the Skippers this game.
Yeah, indeed, but that might be something that can give this Hawks a little bit of energy. They dodged another bullet, so to speak, and they're still one shot away, but fortunate.
Andy's to McGannon to Elder. Elder with a shot on goal. Body's flying, no whistle. Osell chipping it out to neutral zone. Maybe we do get a call.
Well, waiting for a signal from the referee.
There were a lot of hoots and hollers, a lot of cat calls. I wonder if it was complaining about the absence of a call. And then he seems to be taking inventory, counting the number of players. I wonder if there's going to be maybe a too many men call. Unclear to me as to exactly why the stoppage of play.
Unless it was an offsides, but an errant whistle I would think would be at center ice. So maybe we'll just go with an offside, but we will play on.
When I officiated, referee's mistake was a center ice call. I don't know what it is now at high school level. So many different rule books, but they
could be proximity.
Did away with the center ice whistle in youth, which it's a big shift. Doctor with a shot gets through to the goal. Another cover by Bach. Now we've got the clock watch from this point, Bart.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 3 seconds left. I think we really need to keep an eye on that clock because at this point, it is definitely the Hawks' enemy.
Well, in possession is the greatest defender. The Minnetonka can possess the puck. Obviously, the Hawks are going to be limited as far as what they can do offensively, but the Hawks got to get the puck out of the zone and get some speed through the neutral. So far, that's been a bit of a challenge in this third period.
Coster loves to carry the puck, and he does it again. Gains through the neutral zone, brings it out to the corner.
Oh, nice play by Lutke.
Breakout near side to Molnar. Molnar tries to chip the defenseman, come back out the other side, but Ben stands him up. Eventually, the puck bounces right back to Molnar, who's in the slot to get a shot off, but it's deflected by a Hawks defender.
Well, and the reason why he got that shot is a young team will shy away from the physical part of it. He should have been put on his keys or at least impeded as far as getting that, but he was not checked off the puck, got a pretty decent shot on goal.
Laval near side, breaks out right in front of us, goes rink wide, but nobody's home. Back into his end, it's Hicks. They wave off icing. He's down below his goal. Tries to come up far wall. That's Lohheit. Lohheit with 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this game. Chips it up, hits a stick, and bounces onto the Skipper's bench. Face-off now comes in neutral zone. Minnetonka's got Olmscheid, Pitlick, and Laval out for their forward line. Defense are Bronson and Barrett.
Well, I know they're going to get, as you said, John, a lot of ice time, but that one was an errant puck out of play. But it's just a situation where Chaska can't just afford to dump it and go get it. They're going to have to possess the puck.
Bayless gains the zone and dumps it down into the corner. They're going to see if they can, play some dead puck down in this end for a while. An insurance goal would be nice, but more important is just running the time off the clock. Shot from Hicks hits a stick and bounces up over the glass into the net, and we get a face-off coming to the right of Bach.
Yeah, I like the stick work by the defenders for the Hawks at 3:49. As if playing against Minnetonka isn't tough enough, but now the Hawks are playing against the clock. They just have to get some offensive zone time, put some heat on Glockner, but Minnetonka's doing a great job of keeping the puck down in the Chaska zone.
Win or lose, great showing today from the Hawks.
No question.
I'll say the same for Minnetonka. Yeah, it's 3-2, but they've carried the gameplay, and they've hit 4 posts in the 3 periods and haven't had any puck luck, if you will. The goals they got were hard-earned, so we've got another guitar solo. How long does Bobby Brink carry the puck? Finds Jack Bayless back in the net. Bayless from Brink for the second time this game makes it 4-2.
Well, obviously the challenge is getting more steep for this Hawks team, but you could just kind of feel Minnetonka moving the puck around. It was a nice Dean Youngblood move to skate around, get everybody kind of stopped as far as the Chaska side, but again got it out to Bayless, his second goal of this contest, his 7th of the season, but that's a nice insurance goal. We still have plenty of time left for Chaska. Don't get too excited. Get refocused. Just get the puck in and put some pressure on Glockner, but they better get to work.
Keep an eye on that goal. Just 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. If Bobby Brink is Dean Youngblood, that makes Jack Bayless Derek Sutton. Second time in the game that it's been Bayless from Brink. Other time was a drop pass entering the zone. This time he'd done a 540-degree 1.5 circle around and found a wide open Bayless who had a portion of the net to shoot at. Nice opportunity there. Right as the Hawks went to shoot, an active stick was right there to give him a stick check, preventing the shot from coming off.
Yeah, that was Ryan Elder that actually did that on the defensive side. Grabbed the puck, came down, and got a pretty good shot high in the slot on Bach. But again, these Minnetonka players, they play all three zones. The forwards come back, and that's a benefit to Sean Goldsworthy. He has everybody bought in to play the right way, and they're showing an example of that tonight. That's why they're ahead by 2 on the score sheet.
Face-off is controlled by Minnetonka, but they had to bring it out to neutral zone. Dumped in and now in Bronson's hands. They're desperately looking for 2 goals. McDonald in neutral zone plays back to Bayless, but it's a little bit behind him. Or Bronson, I'm sorry. Bronson chips it along the wall out to neutral zone. It's picked up by McDonald. McDonald, blue line move. Barrett skates offside. Right idea, but there was no room for him to straddle as he'd run into the side wall.
No, it was a good challenge by the Skipper's defenders. That's why you have to step up at that point. That really forced him to make a cut at that blue line. And I think it was the left wing that got in, only about 3 or 4 strides off sides. But again, they didn't give the puck up in the neutral zone. They looked up and moved the puck forward, trying to make a play. It looks like we're going to have a timeout on the Chaska side. Good decision by Dave Snuggerud. 2:23 left in regulation time. Down by 2. Just get the kids settle down, refocus, get a little wind, get a little water if you need it. But it's going to be an exciting 2:23. But the challenges in front of the Hawks, obviously, we're going to keep an eye on Justin Bach, the junior goaltender for the Hawks, to see when he's going to get off the ice and join the play. And the way that it is, it'll probably be about obviously possession has a lot to do with it. You have to have possession deep in the zone to be able to pull your tender. So they're looking to get possession, get it down deep, and we'll expect to see Bach come out for that extra attacker.
Bart, I'm an advocate for getting the goalie out as soon as possible when you're in the attacking zone, using those 6 skaters to try to pin the other team in. I'm always afraid if you play them 5-on-5, let them leave the zone, then you can't get a chance to get the goalie out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. There's a 2-goal margin, 2:23 remaining. It's unlikely if they get below the minute mark, they're going to get 2 goals that late in the game. So I'd be looking to get them out sooner rather than later.
Well, again, but you have to have possession. If you can't sustain possession, all you're doing is giving them a freebie. So there are a couple factors that work into it, but that's why good coaches make good decisions. But a little puck luck's going to be involved. But I like the way that Pitlick and the boys went up and got a pretty good shot on goal. He's offensively skilled. He can carry the puck at high speeds, and he really created some space. So they're certainly capable of doing this. Now they're recharged, refocused, and ready to get after it. And the challenge on Minnetonka is to take everything that this Chaska Hawks team is going to throw at them, but again, be defensively responsible. You don't need a goal, so just chip it out of the zone if you have to, but get it to the point of no concerns. But we'll keep an eye on Bach.
With the neutral zone faceoff, I'd like to see Bach out to the top of the circle. He's back into his own goal, and it's going to be tough to get him out.
You're aggressive, man. I mean,
they're down 2 goals.
Well, understood, but again, you're going against a team that's been possessing the puck for the last 5 minutes. So, but again, that's why it's not an easy decision to make, and that's why coaches have to.
They pulled them out.
Okay,
they got it was a dream. They got the icing call. That's what they need.
Well, the flow is starting to happen in favor of the Hawks. Now they have to win this face-off and put some heat on, but a lot of bodies in front of Glockton try to impede the sidelines, but get those shots to the goal and then go to work.
Laval steps into the face-off circle. It's eventually controlled by the Skippers, who bring it out to neutral zone but can't get possession. Koster throws it in. They're trying to set up their forecheck. This is what I talked about. With 6 guys, they have a very good chance to pin them in. That extra player makes it much harder for the Skippers to get out. Unfortunately for the Hawks, we're down to just 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in this game. They still trail by 2. A clearing attempt winds up on the stick of Koster. It hits a few feet and eventually winds up behind the goal. This is a chance for Lutke working it up far side, trying to get it out through Elder. Back behind the wall. I think the Hawks are doing a good job getting that pressure that we're talking about. Again, it comes to the blue line, not out. Finally, onto the stick of Elder, who buries it in the empty net. That makes it 5-2 Minnetonka. That should do it.
Well, you like the grit of this Hawks team. They showed a lot of fight, but Minnetonka did a good job of resisting all the waves and waves of pressure. Koster, nice keep, kept the puck in the zone, got a little owly, but Minnetonka with their poise just chipped the puck out of the zone, and it was Elder, as you said, that scored that decisive goal. Now we're 5-2, 1:22 left. We're going to talk about Minnetonka, just kind of making the plays when they have to make the plays, but it was the right decision to pull the goaltender out at that juncture, and Chaska really showed a lot of grit, but Minnetonka, they just quelled that onslaught, but Chaska Hawks have to feel pretty good about the way they had a showing tonight.
Unassisted goal from Elder that makes it 5-2. We're down to the final minute and a couple seconds. 1:07 remains. So, Bart, just to wrap it up, we had a great game today. It was suspenseful for a long, long time. Chaska opportunistic, getting a couple goals, 3-2. I think is everything you could hope for. Let's go through. What are your choices for the 3 stars of the game?
Well, I think that Elder, I think, really has been a driving force. Bobby Brink has been good. Lutke's been good. I like the defensive tandem. It's going to be very, very difficult. Let's wait till this thing plays out. But I have a couple ideas. But a lot of checks in the right boxes for both teams. We'll just have to sort it out. But I think right now the nod would probably go to Ryan Elder. I just like the two-way game and the grit that he played. But he kind of got things started.
I just keep getting drawn to that line myself as I looked at 3 stars for this game. Andes, McGannon, and Elder, they were outstanding. The Bayless to Brink goals, right. they pulled away. Brink to Bayless goals, they're the ones that pulled away. I'm going to go. My 3 stars. My number 3 star of the game is Bach. I think he was outstanding.
Oh, absolutely.
Gave up 5 goals. At the end of it, he's going to face 50 shots, 90% save percentage. But the reason it was close for as long as it was is because of Bach. So I'm giving him one of the 3 stars. And I like McGannon. I believe he had first goal and assist on the second goal. I think they gave credit to Doctor and Lutke, but I'm going to go back and watch that one in archives. I think it was McGannon's shot. He was outstanding today. And number 1 star, 2 goals, kind of hard to go against Jack Bayless for me.
No, you can't lose in that respect. But I think if we were doing 3 stars, I thought we were just doing the 1. But Justin Bach would certainly be in that conversation. What you want for a goaltender, especially with a young team, is to just give him a chance to win. Make saves perhaps that he shouldn't. He made a lot that he should. He got some pretty good support, but I think it was a good step for the Hawks tonight coming into a hostile environment. For all intents and purposes, take the empty net goal. You held a very solid offensive Minnetonka squad to 4+ the empty net goal, so that's not a bad showing necessarily. Obviously 2 on the scoreboard. They wanted to build on that, but that's going to come with time. But I think as far as maturity, this is a good step forward for this Hawk team. They know they can play with the upper echelon teams. They're going to start getting in the conversation as far as being formidable in sections. But again, a good showing by the Hawk team. But Minnetonka is just it's a beast of a machine. They come at you in so many different directions, make you cover the whole sheet of ice, and they have some speed about them. But they also have a lot of maturity and they have great coaching. So outstanding effort by both of these squads. Looking forward to the next matchup as we talked about Minnetonka versus Edina. 1 versus number 2. If you can get that mid-season, it really brings a lot of excitement. But Chaska moving forward, they have a lot to look forward to, and it's an exciting team to watch. So if you get a chance, get out and watch these kids. They can play this game pretty well.
So Bart, you've got Bach in there. I think Elder's your number 1 star. Who do you want to give number 2 to?
Well, I would have to say probably Bayless, just because of his 2 goals. They were the decisive goals. Really kind of took the wind out of the sails of this Hawk team. So you can't undersell that, but there's just so many contributions from so many people. It's hard to determine just one.
Couldn't agree more. Bobby Brink set up both those goals from Bayless, and we saw some very high-level play from Koster triggering Pitlick on that breakaway goal.
I love Pitlick's game tonight too. Koster was fabulous. There's a lot of good things going on.
I think today was everything that's good about high school sports and everything that's good about hockey and the state of hockey. So I want to thank Sportsman's Guide for being our sponsor, and sign off for all of the crew here. I'm John Conley. Color was Bart Archer. Cameraman Todd Grover, and our producer Brett Johnson. From the Pagel Activity Center, thanks for watching. See ya!